everybody, Mike Iaconelli here. Wanted to give you a little video run through of my Hobie PA12 360 kayak. Just getting done fishing my first professional kayak event. Guess what? Had a great finish. Ended up in 12th place out of 112 boats. And I thought I'd show you my kayak. I'm going to start right here in the middle and show you how I rig it and how I have this thing set up. Let's start with the seat. One of the first things that I modified to my seat here is right here. Look at this. I know this seems simple, but this is just a Hobie cushion that you inflate. Just inflate it with your mouth. Provides a lot of support when you're sitting in this thing for long 8, 10, 12-hour days. Did wonders for me over 4 days of fishing. On the back of the seat, you're going to notice I have a little tackle webs kind of holder. And in this webs, you could put a lot of stuff. You could put a map. You could put your keys. In this one, I hold my Spike It dyes, my Spike It glue, my scent, and it's real convenient. I know exactly where it's at. It's right on the back of the seat. If we look at tackle storage and management, super important to me. Space is limited in a 12-foot kayak. So having stuff organized is real important. I've got not one, but 2 Hobie trays that I use. These trays are great because I can put lures that I'm trying, cut them off, put them in there, spare VMC hooks, Rapala baits, throw them in there. Also, look at this. It holds my Gerber tools on lanyards. And of course, I've got my pliers and my scissors both right here at my fingertips. Okay, so that's in the middle as well. I use a cup holder to keep my water in, keeps me hydrated. Very, very important. And then right in this middle compartment on this Hobie, it's perfect because I can fit all my little Flambeau boxes and it's right at my feet. And I use a combination of different styles, but these are all Flambeau boxes that have Z-Rust built in. They're waterproof. Water's not going to get in there. And this thing actually holds 5 of these boxes. So this is my jig heads, terminal tackle, weights, hooks. Also in this box, there's enough room to put your keys and this thing right here. This is my first time fishing a kayak tournament, but it's a little waterproof phone holder and it's got a little Hobie leash on it. So when I have that fish, I have to measure them. Everything's waterproof. I take my pictures. I take off my leash and my phone. I put it right back in that hatch and I close it up. Let's see here. We have a couple other little tricks. We've got a little TH Marine tackle tamer up here, which is a little magnet system I could put crankbaits on. And then last but not least, what I would say is a middle product is my bump board right here. And this is an official bump board. This is by Catch. See right there, that sticker? It's officially certified by Hobie. I've got my little identifier that I keep on the board, and that's on a little holder as well. And last but not least, look at this. I use a leash for this catch board. Just in case it falls, it slips, I'm wetting the board before I measure the fish, and I drop it, that leash is going to keep it secure. And this thing, I just keep on the side here, or even right underneath the seat. When I catch that fish and I'm ready to measure it, it's right here, okay? So that's the middle of the Hobie PA360. Let's go up to the front. I want to show you the rest of this kayak. All right, now we're up here in the front of the Hobie kayak. This is a PA360 12. Before I start on the front, I do want to remind you that this has got the 360 drive. Look at that drive. 360-degree rotation with the breakaway fins on the bottom. This thing last week for me on the river was so key. Helped me draft ultra shallow water, hit some big rocks, the fins would break away, I'd snap them right back. 360 drive is the future. But let's get to the front. You know, the front of my kayak is exactly like the front of my full-size bass boat. And I want a lot of information up here. And if you look at the way I have this laid out, my first piece of information, one of the most important, and I have this on a ram mount, by the way. This is my Lowrance TI9 depth finder. And the 9 is a great, great unit. I can do a lot of stuff with this 9. I could do traditional 2D, I could do down imaging, I could do side scan. This is a key piece for me to get information. Finding fish, depth, GPS location, all very important. The other key add for me, and again, this is also on a ram mount. I want you to take a look at this. I use it dead set in the front. You could also swap it to the left if you wanted to. Is a ram mount iPad holder. Had a lot of questions about why use an iPad. For me, on a river system especially, having great detailed satellite imagery, Google Earth, Bing Maps, whatever it is, very important. So I have that mounted right in the middle, and I bring my iPad with me for satellite mapping. Over here, more ram mounts. I actually have a ram mount to use a TH Marine Hydrowave in certain situations when the fish are schooling. So I've got all my information right up front. All right, let's go into this front compartment. This front hatch, very, very key to me, and I want to show you why. I'm going to open this thing up, and if you look, I've got a Flambeau watertight marine box in here. But this isn't no ordinary marine box. When you open this marine box, inside of this thing, here it goes, my Dakota lithium battery is housed in here, okay? This is the 12 volt, 23 amp hour Dakota lithium battery. I also keep a few tools in this box as well. But this lithium battery is so key because it powers a lot of my electronics. Powers my depth finder, it can power a cell phone or an iPad, it can even power my power pole if you decide to hardwire it. So I've got my Dakota lithium in a box in the front hatch. You know, the nice thing about that location too is it actually balances out the kayak a little bit. Weight distribution, okay? Last but not least, I want to show you this mount that I have here. It's another ram mount. It's a claw mount with, I think it's the 10-inch arm. And it's one of the key places that I mount my action cam, my GoPro. And it's great because it gives me a forward view of what I'm doing throughout the day. And you're going to get to see some great video of my first professional tournament. So front of the boat, front of the kayak, super important. Let's head to the back. And I want to show you the back of this kayak. All right, here we go. We're in the back of the PA 360. And before we start on the very back, I did skip one thing I want to show you. Under seat tackle storage. This is the perfect Flambeau box. Look at that. All my soft plastics. I have 2 of these directly under my seat, which is perfect. And I have a third one right here in the back. The great thing is I use these factory Hobie straps, keeps it nice and tight. I'm able to store worms, crawls, soft jerk baits, everything I want, all in those boxes. All right, here you go. We're in the back now. Very, very important piece of equipment for me is this H crate. This is a Hobie H crate, and it does a lot of stuff for me in the back of the kayak. First thing it does is it holds my rods. This, of course, has 4 rod slide spots on the side, but this H crate also has 4 spots to store rods. So when I'm carrying 6, 8 rods, I got plenty of places to put my rods to keep them out of my way. The second thing this H crate does, it provides a great storage location for my bigger Flambeau boxes. And I want to show you this system. It's pretty cool. It actually just pops right out. And if you look at this thing, it's a little kind of storage container that I can put 4 of my Flambeau boxes in. There's the width, there's the height of it. I've got these labeled, so I've got spinner baits, chatterbaits, topwaters, jerk baits, crank baits, and of course I've got jigs and buzz baits in one of the boxes. And this thing, watch it, look how it slides right in to the top of that H crate. When I'm fishing, when I'm sitting down, I turn around, I've got all of them labeled, I can read it, I undo this latch, grab the box, put it back, and get right back to business. So this little deal I came up with is perfect. All you DIY guys watching right now, try this one. It's great. And then of course, inside the H crate, I've got this little Hobie zip-in seal. And when you unzip that, in here I keep some key stuff. I have a dry bag with some tape, some tools. I've got a rain suit in here. I've got some extra bottles of water. I've got, if you don't have it hardwired, you've got your PowerPole micro batteries in here. A lot of odds and ends I'll keep in here, especially some emergency stuff. And I keep that in the dry bag within that H crate. So great spot to get that stuff stored. Last thing on the H crate is I use another ram mount on this cool arm right here to mount my second action cam, my second GoPro cam. And this gives yet another really cool angle of my day of fishing. And just a super, super way to capture what you're doing. Come to the back. Of course, I always carry 1, if not 2 paddles. And I've got some different ways that I can store these paddles. And here we go in the back. You know, last but not least, this is such a key tool right here. And this is the PowerPole micro spike. Man, I can't tell you how important it is. In my big boat and also in my kayak, having a PowerPole is so important. In the river, when I was in that current, I needed to stop to measure a fish, or I wanted to fish a spot very thoroughly. I would spike down, it would stop the kayak, I could fish it real thorough and go on my way. Very, very critical component to my Hobie PA12 360 is this micro spike. Last but not least, though, flag on there for when I'm traveling. All right, there it goes. I hope you enjoyed the tour of my Hobie PA12 360. It's been a lot of fun tricking this boat out, customizing it to the kind of rig that I want. It's the great thing about these kayaks, guys. You can trick them out and you can rig it any way you want. They're light, they're functional, and they're fish catching machines. I hope you enjoyed it. Good luck, good fishing, and catch a big one on your kayak next time for me. See you later.